Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the ladies of your view. And the host, Morayo Afolabi Brown.
It's Wednesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Morayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the lovely ladies with me. Hi, ladies. Hi. And our lovely audience. Thanks so much. Welcome to the show, guys. So, Obiajule, how you doing?
I'm doing amazing, and I'm
Good to
grateful
have you.
for life.
Okay.
I'm
Good.
grateful for good health, food on my table, wine in my cup, for everything that I have, clothes on my body, and the gift to give to others as well. I'm just happy, and I'm happy, excited.
Talking about gift, did you guys see the Instagram post about some lady that got a check? Some lady gave her money and she was just, you could see the emotions on her face.
Whoa.
You didn't see it?
No,
I was surprised. It was one of those Instagram posts. It was such
and talking
an
about
emotional
gifts,
moment.
Please, the lady I mistakenly sent that money to, it's not a gift. Please, can you send it back to me?
When did this happen?
I mistakenly sent money. I bought something online and I mistakenly sent it to the wrong person. Please, I know please just send it back to me.
Not a gift.
It's not a gift. Not yet. It's not Christmas yet.
Oh, goodness. Good to have
You
you.
need to be careful when you're clicking OK on this transfer. So I'm grateful to God for good friends. The girls who put together this dress, if you know them, starting from Omi upstairs to Olami, they just made sure this dress fits. I think I'm adding weight.
It's
but
beautiful.
Thank you so much. And amazingly, you won't even see that it was fitted. All the work's done on it. Thank you, Olami. You're amazing. And I had a nice time yesterday. Spa day.
Yes, spa
Those
day.
people.
You and who?
If you know the kind of topic of discussion,
Any
be careful being around YK. All these things, people want to spoil me. I'm a virgin. I'm not interested.
Wait, I didn't see the pictures. Is it on Instagram?
YK and Jumoke.
It's like your best friends. All right.
Spoil someone.
Okay, good.
How you
good.
doing?
I'm great. I'm doing very well.
I'm grateful too.
It's a good time. Just parenting. We need to really talk about parenting. Lots of people are having issues with managing the children. I get stories every day on how kids are just going way. I mean, there's a family that I was talking to recently, and they're so saddened that their teenage son has started taking drugs.
Oh my God.
It's like they don't even know where to start from. They're wondering where did I go wrong. So we really need. So I'm really excited about this. Our parenting series we're starting. Hopefully we can give some people guidelines on how to go ahead with taking care of the kids.
And drugs is so scary.
All right. It's midweek. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll go through the front pages of the newspapers. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're going to start very quickly with The Punch. I'm committed to giving Nigeria new minimum wage soon, says Buhari. Picture here, Prince Charles, council stripped to Jos over security concerns. Customers beat up inter-switch agent. Over 2 million naira failed transactions. EFCC seeks forfeiture order on Amosun's 2.2 billion naira. Opposition parties kick as gunmen attack Ikremadu's home. Southwest governors divided over bid to remove Oshiomhole. We can't meet ASU's demands for now, says Minister. Kano Assembly vows not to stop Ganduje's probe, and Buhari meets APC senators over party crisis. Right, let's see.
Human angle.
Yeah, go ahead, human interest.
So, a 43-year-old male registered with InterSwitch started doing the business in January. Now, it was lucrative, he was making money till March when the terminal developed issue.
This
happened, the POS, yes. This happened in Shagamu area. So by the time the customer slots in the card to the POS, the InterSwitch debits them and does not credit his wallet. So he has to pay cash using his own money. And then at some point he had to stop because he kept complaining to and fro to the company, and they said they will resolve. Customers are harassing him. He's been paying the debts with his money. They've been harassing him, even soldiers beating him up and all of that. So he's decided to, write, using his lawyer to write to the company to see how they can resolve it.
I hope InterSwitch will respect their corporate image and do something about this quickly.
Let's move on very quickly to The Nation. Workers excited as Buhari accepts 30,000 naira proposal. It's going to be our topic a bit later, so we won't focus too much on it. Prince Charles meets with traditional rulers in Abuja. Ekwuremadu's home incident is burglary, says police. Sonny Odogu dies at 87. And ex-air chief Amosu likely to forfeit 2.2 billion naira.
So yesterday, all the traditional rulers met with the visiting prince of Wales. And amongst some of them was the Oba of Benin, my king. I want to join voice with him to ask the British people, through the prince, to return our artifacts that are with the English people to the ancestral home.
In 1897, back by the British.
During the slave. And we've been at it. The Benin people have been at it. The president of Benin wrote a book.
Auntie,
and part of it is the history of the places.
No, I think there's a museum being
I'm just asking.
Because we don't value, we don't have a museum culture here. That's why you ask. But of course, where they put it there, what are they doing with it?
That's what I'm saying.
They are showing it off. We'll show it off here.
Shouldn't we?
Well, this is tourism. People are going there to see it. They're getting value for it.
There are other
they
factors.
Should come here to the ancestral home.
The point I'm trying to make is that there are other factors that will make people come to your country for tourism. So don't say because, oh, yes, we have the artifacts in this place. So there are other factors that will drive people to the Benin Kingdom.
But the thing is that it's their own. Is it not their own?
Exactly.
Let them decide.
They should bring it back. They should return it.
They stole it. Right. We did not give them.
Okay. That's all right. Moving on to Daily Sun. 2019 polls under threat. Says INEC. Assassination attempt on Ekwuremadu under probe. New minimum wage. President forwards 30,000 naira bill to National Assembly. Candidates list. Ogun PDP urges INEC to ignore seconders. And we won't stop Ganduje's bribery probe, Kano Assembly.
Okay, so
let's talk about Ekwuremadu's...
yes. Ekwuremadu's house was...
Boggled.
Well, not boggled. They're saying that either he is claiming that he escaped an assassination attempt, but the police is saying that was a burglary, that his neighbor had also been burgled some days before. So, but Ekwuremadu was saying that he came into my house, into my bedroom, he called the police, the IG of police did not pick, nobody picked, and that,
okay,
but the DCP...
let's just put the facts out there. Ekwuremadu is the deputy Senate president. He lives in the legislative quarters in Akpo Villas in Abuja. So this is an area supposedly guarded seriously. As the deputy Senate president, he has the security detail from the police. Was there a compromise? Because Jimoh Moshood came out, that's the spokesperson for the police, saying this was a burglary. I cannot imagine if they can burgle the deputy Senate president house, what would be the fate of every average Nigerian?
Exactly.
And there are various levels, according to our reporters, there are various levels of security you have to pass before you get to those quarters.
Anyways, one of the suspects was caught because there was a commotion and one person was caught. And then the 4 policemen that were guarding his residence were also arrested.
But it's rather unfortunate that the police, nobody was able to be, was available to assist at least until 9 a.m. According to him, he was calling them since like 5:30 a.m.
Didn't take their calls.
Nobody picked up their calls. Their phones were switched off. He tried to call everybody he could. Nobody picked up until 9 o'clock before he now heard from the first person. That's not good. Let's move on now to another paper. New Telegraph, Buhari to Labour, don't let politicians use you. Ekwuremadu assassins are after my life, 4 policemen arrested. Police incidents was burglary. We talked about that. How 15 ex-governors fared as Senate. Evangelist, I killed pastor for breaching agreement. 4 APC lawmakers defect to opposition parties. And Okorocha sues Inspector General of Police. EFCC demands 1 billion naira damages. So which evangelist is this one again?
Yes, in Abia State, Umuahia. This particular evangelist is a friend to the pastor. They were friends from secondary school. So they started preaching, and the friend needed his help to help him grow his church. So he had to take him all the way to Ondo State, to native doctors to get charms to grow the church, and loaned him 100,000 during his crisis. at the time, right now, the church was making money. He was having returns. He did not give his friend money back. Whenever he calls him, he will not take his calls, he will not reply. So he decided to kill him. So he plotted with 2 other people. They went into his house and killed him.
She will not be going to church in our house like this.
I mean, everything is
I
so
don't
wrong.
understand. Maybe you just stay in your house and just, because
really
I'm getting it's really worrisome.
Everything is wrong.
Pastors,
I mean, from the foundation
ongoing.
of the church to the end of the pastor, it's
don't
just
even
wrong.
know
Because they needed members, they needed people to come in.
How
So they had to do
long you been
chants.
flocking to these places from point A to point B,
For
looking for
miracles.
miracles and everything? See your people. They've gone to meet Babalawo to drag you. And you are going like mumu. All right. Let's move very quickly on to Vanguard. How 30,000 naira minimum wage sailed through. Benin monarch urges Prince Charles to ensure return of stolen artifacts. ASU strike paralyzes UI, Lautech, Unilag, Lasso, and others. How my family and I escaped assassination. I think we've taken most of the stories.
Yeah.
Stop lamenting. Face governance. Fayoshe tells Fayemi. Nigerian army can't face us if we have arms, says Shiites.
Yes, so.
And 2019, reps endorsed 242.2 billion naira environment for INEC security agencies. So let me tell you, I read my former governor by marriage statement. So ex-governor Fayoshe was telling Fayemi that please stop complaining about Ikogosi, that they had actually handed it over to private investors. Unfortunately, those guys couldn't get any revenue from the resort. Yeah. So they left, and they've been trying to see if they can get others to come and invest. So that's what happened, that it seemed abandoned. I should stop complaining and face governance.
It's part of governance, so that's a resort.
Too, right?
Hey, he was.
I don't know why these people must answer. Oh, Shiites are warning me.
How can
you people better know that with our doggedness, with our fearlessness, with our bravery, if we had arms, you are now saying that we faced you.
Can we not
we
give
don't
this
have
thing any
arms.
voice, please?
Please, no. This is a serious issue. Number one, they have their leader being held against rule of law. They are demanding his release. They want a peaceful procession. Can we grant certain things within the law? Can they also be compelled? Because I have said it here and over again. Your limit stops where there's a blockade.
Exactly. And can continue
your protest there peacefully.
Can our government be seen to be obeying the rule of law? Yeah. That's pretty much what we're asking.
Please do not go about threatening the military of a country. I beg of you. Don't.
All right, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we discuss the hottest guests in town, the Prince Charles and the Duchess of Cornwall. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I shall be sitting.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
So, Eko Alejo, the Prince of Wales, and his wife, the Duchess of Cornwall, Camilla, are both here on a 9-day tour across Africa. They arrived in Nigeria yesterday at 2 p.m. The visit is majorly, according to them, to strengthen ties, especially amongst Commonwealth countries in the area of trade, environment, and education, and so on. Now, we'd like to hear Nigerians' thoughts on this. This was that these guys have come here, especially considering the fact that they just recently exited the European Union, Brexit, and they obviously need us. They are Commonwealth partners. But let's join the conversation, 070-806-68014. You could also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. We'd like to hear your thoughts on their visit. So I've listened to different people yesterday saying that them coming here, for them, obviously, there's an opportunity for them to ensure that that the allies they have in this Commonwealth is still strong. Because obviously, as they're leaving the European Union with the Brexit, they need new friends and to ensure that new trade partners. And is this an opportunity for us to suddenly start coming to the negotiation table as equals, not so much as, oh, you are colonists, you are colonial masters. Yeah. We are like, you need us. This is time for us to actually speak to them as equals, not so much. So, but obviously our government is there. There's a lot of fanfare. Oh, they're here. What do you want? So what are your own thoughts generally on the visit, and what do you expect from this visit? Let me start with you.
Okay, so I am just really excited. The reason why I am was that I remember as a child when he came with his other wife, the late Princess Diana. And I remember that time they said that they brought their bathing water with them, that they had to bring bathing water from the UK there because they could not. So I'm wondering now, please, I hope you can use our water now. I think that it's just good relations, you know. As you said, they haven't been to, they haven't had that exit from Brexit. you know, it's just important that, I guess, they renew relationships and just better strengthen those relationships. We also had Theresa May come in, you know, a few months ago. So for me, this shows that they are really serious about Africa, about Nigeria.
They're really serious about Africa.
Two, they are serious about, because it's about the money. Then they're also supposed to go to Jos.
Right.
And they're talking about alternative, you know, things to oil. So they're talking about agriculture. They're talking about, I don't know if you guys know
How
Acha.
convenient is it? Let me jump to you.
Right. Our country needs money. We don't have enough money to fund ourselves. So anybody coming to do feferity, I am not concerned about it. What are you bringing to the table? How do you want to take us forward? And for us as Africans, because when they came, the Oni of Ife, Oni of Ife, flamboyantly dressed, he had his forerunner call out, you know. We like all those shakara things, royalty and all of that. Right. What are we bringing to the table? Are we sitting on that table and saying, okay, you need us, we need you, this is what you can do for us, and this is what we can give back to you? We are just happy and excited and nothing is happening.
Right. Yeah, I said I will sit through this conversation because I don't understand. But the truth is, back in the days when the strength of Nigeria was well felt, when we had agriculture, Britain was our major market. We moved our cocoa from here, there. We had our granite pyramids transported by train all the way to Lagos, to the ports, and to Europe. Yes, there's something we can do from this. There's nothing wrong in learning from our past and getting that our past glory. It depends on the vision of the government in power. This is why yesterday on Instagram, everybody that have dress, wear it. I went to greet Prince. I was wondering, we are still fighting to get 30 pass, we did not see. They have come to greet us now. We are spending money to host party.
We're dressing up.
But you know something? The most important things. And every foreign leader or head of state that visits this country talks about one thing. China comes, trade, strengthening their own economy. Macron was here, trade, strengthening their own economy. Now they are here. Trade is another major thing. We no longer produce anything. We're a mono-economic, mono-dependent economy. So we have only oil. We should be looking at the things that made us strong. It wasn't oil alone. There are lots of oil countries now. We were farmers. We were strong people. We had major agriculture, and they were dependent on us.
I was trying to talk about, they're talking about, he specifically mentioned that they'll be talking about a particular grain. I don't know if we know it in the north. We know it's super grain, Acha. So yes, so he will be talking about that and the importance of growing that. You know, agriculture. He's also talking
about. Do we need him to tell us that?
Well, no, we don't need him to tell. No, we don't need him to tell us that. But it will be good for us to understand that why are they interested in things like that?
Right.
They must need something. You know, sometimes we don't know what we have.
Hang in there. Also, you know, another thing which I think I want to harp on what you said earlier is that we all know that the Queen was actually the one in charge of the Commonwealth. Yes. Now, as she's obviously retiring, she retired long time ago. But he's obviously taken over from her. Yes. So it's important that he goes around to just strengthen the ties across all the others. But one of the guests that we had from Australia, I think, that was talking on TVC News yesterday, mentioned that this is an opportunity for Nigerians or African members of the Commonwealth to come to the table and say, you know what, we want to rotate the leadership of the Commonwealth. We're all together in this. It's not for you to just sit back and say, oh, yes, our leader, our queen, our prince is here. No, you need us. It's time for, it's an opportunity, it's a rare opportunity for you to say, you know what, okay, let's sit down and see how we can actually properly benefit from each other. Not where you are continually seen as our colonial masters. We have passed that stage. We're no more a colony to you. We are now a federation.
Can we stand toe-to-toe with them right now?
It's not about standing toe-to-toe, it's about... understand. We can stand toe-to-toe in the system of governance.
Your suggestion is very good, but it's a foresighted, it has to be a foresighted thing, something we plan towards.
Exactly.
Right now, the places we have, most of the African the colonies have destroyed everything that was their strength, which is why I wanted to up on you. So the Acha is a product. They shouldn't just come like they used to do and take the crude resources here. We can get a complex product so that we will employ all the chains of production, and export a total full product. Whatever the British people see in that child is the final product. They don't know how to do it. So that final one, we should now come and improve and start to put our monies into researching the best quality of product that they will buy the finished
Let me
product
take this call from Victor. Victor, are you there? Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Hello, what I'm saying is that this Edward, not Ezekiel, but what I'm saying is that this thing they call Commonwealth, whatever, is an extension of indirect rule.
Yes.
There are no difference between that and indirect rule. Remember, in those days, our kings were being ruled from Britain.
Oh, indirect rule, he said, I think.
Yeah.
So continuation
For
of
me,
it, as far as I'm concerned.
we as a country, we need to have a vision. We need to have our plan before other people come and tell us this is the direction we should go in trade. What are we looking at doing? Is it the cocoa we are looking into? Is it the rice we are looking into? So when they come, you have what you have planned as a country to do. Then you put it on the table. This is where we as Nigerians are going.
I don't think you give us enough credit. You know, I don't think you give us enough credit.
What's
I
our
don't think
vision?
that we have a vision.
What is it?
The thing is, we already have a fledgling, whatever, our economy and our democracy, we're working it out. But when these people come, I don't think we are going cap in hand and say, show us the way. That is not it. There's a different kind of conversation that is happening these days. People come and visit. We go there to visit. Does not ordinarily mean that, okay, where are we going with cocoa?
But don't you find, wait,
there are other conversations
don't you find
we already
it,
have
she has a
with
point
them.
because opportunities meets preparedness.
Exactly.
We must know a vision. I think Tokwe says all the time, we should focus on
have where we're
education,
going,
or is
yeah.
it health? Let's be clear.
Let's be
But,
clear.
So we need to know what we want. We can't just keep saying, oh, come
Then
now.
I bring this Acha news now, and
it's
very soon everybody will run into what's Acha.
It's kind of bizarre, don't you think? Let me say, no, it's kind of bizarre that Macron was here. Who else?
Everybody's
All of them
finding
becoming here.
something to come and...
Somewhat around the same time.
Yes.
We should.
It's not bizarre. We should understand that, yes, that Africa and Nigeria is becoming important, and we should understand that. But we should not make every visit about, oh, what are we doing with cocoa? As if we have to wait for them to know where we're headed. No, we already know where we're headed.
Reality check quickly.
Reality check.
We don't know what they are doing.
I don't know what I'm doing.
All the chocolates you are eating, they are coming from France.
Just welcome your guests home and start asking them questions.
See, quickly, before we forget,
we have to run
education. Oh.
Yes, but let me make the point. Let me go.
Now, Britain is largely selling education to us.
Of course.
Everybody who wants to come here to get a good job has to have a UK Masters.
Yes.
These people have a vision. They know why they are coming here. Everything that we get that is of quality, we have to bring it from abroad.
So, in a nutshell,
we have to have a vision.
Nigerians, shine your eyes. Let's go on a break. When we come back, this issue of minimum wage, what are your thoughts? We'd like to have a conversation with you. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Right, thanks for staying with us. So the federal government and the Nigerian Labour Congress finally came to a conclusion on the minimum wage. Henceforth, it has been affirmed that 30,000 naira will be our national minimum wage. However, we'll be talking to ourselves today as young people. How can the implementation of this be achieved? How achievable is it? Does it even make any sense to you as a working class citizen? You can call us on zero. Well, actually, we have with us Moremi Ojedu joining the conversation. Woo, welcome. She's a youth activist.
Yeah.
And she's very passionate about issues like this, issues that concerns young people. She's the founder of what's the name of the foundation again?
It's next.
Youth Next.
Yeah.
Yes, the Youth Next Foundation. Yes, it's our turn. So you can join the conversation 07080668014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect, please, hashtag YourViewTVC, so we can read the tweet. We'll also come to the audience because we need to hear your views on this minimum wage issue. Does it make sense to you? Do you think you can actually survive with that amount of money? Let me start. Who wants to go first? Meremy, want to go first?
Basically for me, I'm actually very happy to be amongst young people because I'm also very, very young.
Right.
And there are issues really.
Very, very young.
Yes, I'm young. And the issues concerning them is what I actually face on a daily basis. It may be, I could probably come from a background that is affluent, but then again, I grew up in a very humble background where I was made to understand the average struggle the struggle of an average Nigerian. So then again, as a young person, while I was in school in Unilag, I was collecting 15,000 naira as an allowance.
That's a lot of money.
She was a privileged family. She just told you.
Yeah.
We
And that was like the biggest money then. And it was still not enough.
For you?
Yes. Let me explain why.
Also,
in my room then, I had to cater to some of my roommates. They would have to come to me, oh, Maria, this handout, we need to quickly buy. Can you quickly spare me this amount of money and blah, blah, blah. So these are issues that centers.
You are an employer of labor. You have a company, you run a company. Paying 30,000 naira per worker. Is that something you can afford? Is that something that you think even your workers can take home and be comfortable for the month?
It's not something I can afford, and it's not something that will be enough for my workers, for an average worker that works for me. No, it's not. It's not something I can afford as a business person to pay them, really.
So that's where I have issues with.
The highest paid worker in my own business earns 35,000. The lowest earns 15,000. So if the minimum wage is implemented, it means I have to pay the cleaner, the barest, the youngest, 30,000 naira for a business that generates just 150,000 naira monthly.
Whoa. Wow.
That's a lot of money. These are issues.
So for me, that's where my grouse is. If I thought through this minimum wage struggle, I thought, why do we have to fight for an increase? Simple. Government has failed to provide the basic amenities. So even in Lagos State, where we had housing done, Lagos Homes, today, what is the position of Lagos Homes? I have been following it through. They've not sold any, and it's not even affordable. The rent to own, everything that made us rush into it has just been put on hold. So a lot of things are not working. The NLC should have been fighting, like some people are saying, for those basic things. So for proper access to health, for the proper implementation of the NHIS. So the NHIS covers more than malaria treatment.
Thank you for taking us there, Nima, because I wanted to harp on the fact that who should we be fighting? Exactly. Who is responsible for this issue, this problem? From what we've seen last week, it's looking like the issue, the fact that our governors have failed to diversify, have failed to make their states to generate revenue is what the problem is, because if you can't generate, then you can pay salaries. So the real fight shouldn't so much be to insist that the federal government pays a certain amount. It's to ensure that the states are empowered enough to use the money they have.
To ensure that structures are well put in place. Educational structure, health structure, structures that centers around the living, working class people.
That's exactly.
Does the average market woman have access to healthcare? Do they have that NHIS?
I can tell you for free.
NHIS service.
Let me Mariam.
So that's exactly my thoughts as well. I mean, this 30,000, 100,000, whatever you give us, we're still going back to the hospitals that there are no beds and no doctors. We're still going back to the schools that there are no skilled teachers or enough seats. We're still going back. So those are not the things that we should be fighting for, I do not think. The things we should be fighting for is making sure that we have schools, we have skilled teachers, we have hospitals that work, we have doctors around. It's not about hundreds and hundreds.
That cannot happen if your governors are going cap in hand to the federal government to collect money every month and take that money to go and do weddings for their children. It's not going to happen.
A friend was telling me recently that most of these people come out to contest for elections because of what the federal government will allocate to them. That if there is no federal government allocation where a state needs to generate revenue and then pay 30% to the states, you will see that a lot of people will not want to get into politics. And so the thing for me is, how can these states now start looking inwards to generate revenue, create money for themselves so that they can attend to the people? Aside from increments right now, when the structures are not there, the basic amenities are not there, the money is still going to be, it will not be enough.
Yes, Nima.
At the end of the day.
Let me profile certain solutions. Number one, we've said it over and over again, mind generation, control of waterways, control of state resources should be taken away from the exclusive list. Put on the concurrent list. Federal government can work on it. State governments can work on it. That's one. Number two, state governments. The reason, even the most highest paid, those ones who are oil producing, who get, about how many percent? 13%. They still do not have basic hospitals.
Of course.
Lagos State, for instance, is not an oil producing state, full-fledged yet, but they have provided health. I use their maternal and child care. even then, it is not affordable.
Okay.
So you see the 26,500 is not what a minimum wage salary earner can afford.
I'll come to you, Moremi, but let me quickly take this call. Malaka, are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
Go ahead, please. Thanks for calling.
Good morning.
Morning.
Miss Jumoke on the show.
Yes, sir.
Well done. I thank God for giving me this opportunity. In my own view, what governments and labor should focus on is price control. If there is no control of price in Nigeria, even if they are paid 200,000, the middlemen will still take the money from them. People produce something, sell for 200 naira, and the middlemen are ready to sell for 50,000. If there's no price control,
that's another issue.
I don't think we can fight any of anything.
Thank you very much, Malaka. That's a whole nother. That's another.
So I wanted to.
Okay, actually foresee a rise in prices of goods and services as soon as the minimum wage is implemented. But then again, we still come back to the same issues, foundational issues as well. So I actually feel that the educators of the NLC is very, very okay, very right. But it's going to be a wake-up call to all the governors of the states to look inwards and be creative.
Yeah,
they need to start thinking creatively. They need to understand that there are so many things that they can tap into within their own, do you understand, stakeholder. So they need to understand that it's high time they actually make use of the best capital resources they have, as well as human resources as well.
We need to go on a break, Moremi, but I think it would be a fantastic idea if this minimum wage is implemented and all the politicians start earning minimum wage.
I'm telling you.
Once they do that, hopefully, then
they will make better policies.
They will make better policies so they can earn more. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll take some more phone calls and tweets. Stay with us. We'll be right
back. Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So during the break, Moremi was talking about also the NYSC. I wanted to connect this to the NYSC.
The National Youth Scheme as well. Right. You know, there's been so much agitations to increase it from 19,800 to 49.5. There was this trend on Twitter that they wanted
just be dashing you money. Well, that's
it. But then again, as young people, what do you think about it as well? You understand? Because lots of young people have gone through 4 years, 5 years in the university.
They've not worked.
And then again, they've not worked. And that the National Youth Scheme is actually an opportunity for them to be able to hone their skills, to practicalize everything they've learned.
Save up startup funds for businesses.
And also, there's been an implementation of entrepreneurship skills at the youth camps for these young people.
Giving them
I don't understand.
50K every month.
No, Morel, it went to 19,800 because the minimum wage at the time had gone to 18,000.
Right.
So most likely they would increase it. It was helpful for me. I started a business. Saving up my NYSC. So
because you could save.
Let me no one that have a vision. You know now.
Imagine you were deployed to another state and you had to pay rents for your flat where you were staying.
I bought 2 cows with money I made from NYSC.
Sorry, we didn't get that.
I bought 2 cows with the money I made from
NYSC. 2 cows.
Wait, cows to do what?
To do cows. I had 30 from them. I had over 30 cows. Dairy farm.
Oh, yeah.
Were you using it? Oh,
I used to be.
Oh, it was a source of income for you?
I didn't know that. Yeah. The first 2 cows. Yes.
Okay, so
guys, you cannot hear anybody anymore. Nobody can hear because they're now talking about each other. But it's interesting to know that you're a headswoman.
Yeah, I used to be a headswoman.
Anyway, let me go to the audience because obviously there are lots of young people in the crowd. 30,000 minimum wage. How does that make you feel? What are your thoughts on this? Let me hear your thoughts.
I think that it's very shameful and disgraceful for the NLC to go on strike for 30,000 naira, because I still believe that the government can pay more than that amount for a family. Like Stanima said, if NLC has to go on strike, they should go on strike for important things that will help the country, like good roads, health system, and also lights and other important things. I still believe that a family of 4 or 5 should be well taken care of and be okay.
All right, let me hop on that a bit. So, you know, Nigerians are always accused of passing the buck. Now, Nigerian Labour Congress, their job is to defend labor, those who are working. Issues of power, electricity, isn't their job to do? And secondly, shouldn't we as citizens take responsibility to go to the streets and do what labor is doing to demand on this? Is why we put passing the buck onto labor.
So I think that NLC is doing its job. The NLC is supposed to work on our minimum, our living wage. So they've done their job. But really, the rest lies on us, CSOs as well.
Yeah.
You know, we need to go out. One of the things I'm ready to down tools for is when we're ready to talk to the National Assembly about cutting their wages. It's too much.
Right.
We should all down tools and insist that they should change that. And then that money can be used for many
That's
other
something
things.
Jumoke has always harped on, the fact that they earn way too much. Moremi, your thoughts on what he said?
Basically, I want to take my own thoughts on what she said about senators earning and lawmakers earning so much. I recall then when my dad was a senator in the 7th Republic, I went to meet him and I asked him and I said, Dad, how much? He said, my salary is just 496,000 naira. And I said, but there's so much in news that your salary is about 15 million, you earn about... I'm like, no, forget those things. Apparently, they are just allowances. So those are the things we need to look at.
Allowances, salary, everything.
And I recorded...
Pause. Call it whatever name you want to call it. What enters bagger down in their account is what our problem is.
Those panels they set up, those auditorium, they have a pension committee.
Yeah.
Do you know how much they share within that committee?
Oversight functions.
All those oversight functions.
Yes.
Those
That's
are
where
the
the
things.
money
So
is.
we shouldn't misunderstand it. That it's not as if that's
So
may I join my voice?
let me pause you for a quick second. So what Moremi is telling us is that let us not continue to demand that their salaries be reviewed. What we are demanding is that the allowances and all their committee benefits be reviewed. Yes, Nima.
So I wanted to add to that. The security votes of the governors are unaudited, nobody checks what they do with it unchecked. So that amount of money, and governors still come out to tell us, I'm handicapped, I'm not in control of the security. We should use this funding for proper things.
Right.
And I say it again, I'm not saying that I joined the NLC in spirit. I agree with the minimum wage demands because government has failed to provide every other thing, and Nigerians provided themselves. We dig our borehole, we do our street roads, we provide our own power. So please, basic things like that, state governors now can look into providing this.
Right.
The Scandinavian countries are the most happiest people in the world because government has taken care of every.
Let me take this call. Let me take one more.
Whatever they earn is not.
Let me take one more comment from the audience. Please go ahead.
Minimum wage is this. I don't think there will be any beneficial or any benefits or changes if the government is not controlling the price of goods and services. And I'm also using this opportunity to tell the government to implore the producers as well as the manufacturers not to inflate the goods and services according to the definition of inflation. Inflation is the general increment of goods and services. For this reason, I think if there is
point taken, sir.
Yeah, so let me just flow with him in that angle because I share that opinion. We are our problem. Now, minimum wage has been increased. Once it's implemented, you see that all the people selling in the market will increase their prices. Once there's rain, all the transportation people will increase their prices.
True.
So 1,000 from where they carry 100 naira. It's Christmas season coming now, all the prices will be increased. So we don't really like ourselves. We just take advantage of opportunities to exploit other people. We should look into that as a people. We should work on not exploiting situations.
The danger about price control is that the market forces determine,
and then there's an important middleman thing, which is the wholesale. So the producers have put a particular price on it, but the person who is the middleman to the retailer would put an extremely high amount of money for getting the goods across. So it's important that we take care of all those things. Roads are not good. All those factors of commercial factors of production are not working.
I don't think. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Maureen.
With regards to the intricacies of economics, because it comes with the higher the demand, the lower the supply and everything. But as I said, the onus lies on the federal government. And I would also take a cue from what he said, the young man said, about ensuring that these structures are in place. For me, I would actually advise that the government declares a state of emergency in the educational sector. It is terrible.
That's a whole other topic. Unfortunately, we have to run out of time. But we will bring up these issues because I think in the last 1 year, what has been clearer to us, especially on this table, is that all your offers on presidential candidate is totally really is not totally, is like just 2% of the issue. The real issue are the legislators. Who are those going? What are they saying? What are they doing exactly? The governors. We've seen how important your governor is, who he is, how he's using that money. So in the next elections, what you need to start doing, forget who is at the helm of the affairs of the presidency, is honestly, not that it doesn't matter, but it's not the most important. Let us focus on what's important. If you've not learned anything on your view in the last 1 year, that's one, understand. Get your PVC and be clear on who you are voting in each of these other areas. Have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow.